everyone, and welcome back to the Nullius mod. This is a Taku showboat. I'm starting off looking at the green, regular circuit build, the processor build, because there was a problem here that was actually stopping me from making any processors, which was preventing me from getting satellites to actually launch rockets. We sort of need these to make the laboratory 2s for the satellites. So, yeah, what was the problem? This little boxed sodium hydroxide line that gets filtered out here from the aluminum ingots setup was backed up, not allowing the ingot boxes to continue down the line to make the ceramic powder in the end. Yep, that's what it was. I'm joined by Ollie off to this side. We'll see what he plans on doing. Oh, he just plans on laying down right next to me. Okay, he can lay down and he can be good boy. He's been a not so good boy lately. He's been quote unquote drowning his toys in water. He's been playing with water and in the process making a huge mess with the water. I mean, it's fine if he wants to get his toys wet. It's fine if he wants to get the toys wet. It's just when he pulls the entire, we have a big jug for one of the water supplies that auto feeds into a feeder with water. It's just always constant. They always have water, and it's a big reservoir. He pulls the whole freaking thing down our den steps all over the carpet, knocks the reservoir down, and it spills the entire reservoir of water all over the place, all over the carpet. Also that he can get a toy wet. Yes, Ollie. That's the kitty being a kitty. So I've had to try to stop him from doing that, but it's a kitty being a kitty. We can't really stop that. Okay, we've had a delivery of processors. That's good. The solution, of course, was to just put in a box here. This is because mini loaders are inserters, and even though I had the input priority set here, inserter behavior was inserter behavior, unfortunately, and it just wasn't pulling in on the lane, on the one lane. This whatever this outside lane was, it wasn't taking it in through that lane. I was preferring the other lane on the input over here, which is supposed to use all of it. This uses more than is made on the sodium hydroxide, ultimately, than you need of the soda ash for this system to keep moving. Anyway, back over here, now that the astronomical science is moving, eventually it will be moving. Once it's eventually moving, as Ollie runs away. More activity in the mall is good to see. Eventually we'll launch a rocket and we'll actually have some stuff going on here. Which will ideally be soon. Ideally, we're waiting on another Lab 2, it looks like. And the Lab 2 is limited by processors. Of course it is. Of course it is. Where's M processors? I've already used the entire delivery, and it's coming back. It's coming back. So yeah, eventually, we'll get that going. But what we did get was the biology 2 research done. And with that biology 2 research done, we are now able to get into algae. Oh, it's absolutely glorious. Algae has arrived. Glorious algae. So, let's have a look at algae. Both the way in which we get it at first, and then the loop from there to keep it perpetuating. Alright. Algae. 1. Requires the algae progenitor, which requires the algae genome. Oh look, it's astronomical data again, as well as climate sample boxes. Now this can be made on site. Climate samples are extremely easy to get, so I will just make them local. We'll have the astronomical boxes here, so we may as well just keep on going with this. We have some cellulose and sugar being provided into our network in this area, as well as have the protocells, amino acids and fatty acids, and nucleotides all getting made. So all of this I can just do at this moment in time. So let's go ahead and just get this done to get an initial supply of algae going here real quick. Now I will need the algae for the algae 2 to take some of the algae and make spores out of it, which will return cellulose. That we have to deal with in some way. Interesting. And some sludge we have to process with hydrochloric acid, but whatever. Or just process in general the sludge into something else. Let's see, and then yeah, you get 8 algae from 10 spores, and you get 3 algae into 5 spores. So it's 6 algae for the 10 spores, and you get 8 out. Oh god, that's not that great of a cycle. But hey, you know what? We're gonna go with it. Say I want to get an algae net out, thanks to the power of the matrix solver, to get +1 algae out. Oh boy. Hey, can you be... Yes. You can absolutely be productive to help with that just a bit. So it's 1.17. You need to spend more algae than you get out to keep the cycle cycling. And you have this 0.46 cellulose that you'll always have, which is just like bleh, bleh, bleh. When you can convert cellulose to sugar, that's going to be good. And then when... I guess if we want to keep our bacteria moving, we can use the cellulose for the bacteria instead. In the alternative, cellulose to graphite to carbon monoxide, gone. / cellulose to graphite and carbon dioxide, gone. Combusted. Unfortunately, that requires another tech. That requires getting into biochemistry 2, which allows you to get rid of excess cellulose as well as make oil out of fatty acids and glycerol. This is not exactly the greatest for the moment. Ah yes, and then cellulose sugar comes even later. Great. Comes after grass from Botany 1. Yeah, so we're going to be working towards getting into these microbiology samples so that I can get into grass. Glorious grass, and then you do grass and grass progenitors for botany specimens, and that's your next tech that you get access to. And that next tech... Oh yeah, I guess empiricism 7 for the research speed increase happens here. An infinite technology becomes available at that point. Yeah, we get zoology, and then we have nematology specimens. Okay, that's literally worm. The worm samples. Then we need the worm samples to get into the fish. And then there's fish samples, ichthyology, fish samples. Oh, and then there's zoology, which should give us some, some zoology samples. It's just so much. So very much to go here. let's get started with it. We will, of course, start with one building setup for various everything. For everything, just a one building setup. We just need trace amounts of things at the moment. That needs air. As air, okay. Enjoy your air. Enjoy your wonderful air as air. And you need sea water. Enjoy. Enjoy the outfall as well as the chimney. Oh boy. Alright. Input. Output. Nah. Output. There. Wow, that's everything. What? It was different. Oh no, it was different. Oh boy. Get rid of that. Don't get rid of that. They're not getting rid of it because I don't have storage here. And I don't carry around storage here. Okay. Do that. You. That. That. And that. Right there. Okay. Hey, buddies, let's get you brought down again. All three of you. Sort of need all three of you yet again. Gee, wouldn't it be great if we had a better way of getting into all these? It's coming. It's coming. Eventually. Eventually we'll have it. But for the moment, we just have to deal with these lower throughputs. You just gotta trust me, there will eventually be a better biotic method of generating these things. These, nucleotides, fatty acids, and amino acids. We just gotta get there. There you go. Enjoy stuff. Stacks at a time, please. Ta-da! And then you. You actually need bacteria genome? Okay. Sure. Climate and astronomical boxes. Now, theoretically, the only thing we need to make here are those astronomical... blah, blah. Climate sample boxes. Yes, that is the one that I will need. Also, I shouldn't even have these productivity module ones on me at all. Okay, climate sample boxes. In a hydro plant, there isn't just a hydro box, a climate box, because the climate box will use nitrogen, wastewater, and volcanic gas, wouldn't it? Yes, thank you for showing me all those things. Boxed climate samples, yep, nitrogen, wastewater, and volcanic gas. I don't see a point to this recipe. Just being completely honest, this is objectively a worse recipe than just getting it out of air and seawater. As is. Like, just make it go fast on this building and you're good. 1200 air, 800 seawater. That's not that bad. In the grand scheme of things. Actually, that's a little bit too fast. That's fine. And you can throw in a couple of efficiencies, or at least one efficiency. Oh, can you do you can do productivity. Yeah, I'll take productivity in there with that. Now, what's special here is that because we are under 600, is that I can just plonk that down, and then 720... 720, huh? Ta-da. one air filter. It will need to get boxed in the end, but still. Small thingy. Box the samples. Provide them to the network. And you're good to go. This makes a very slight, tiny amount of the things. I'm going to do this way. Get rid of that. Tell it to take the tiles. And just plonk down a few more. Just a few more. There we go. Now we have 1 per second. 1.02 climate samples per second. Ta-da! Off of that. Done in an incredibly dumb way using productivity, haste, and efficiency modules. All in the same building. I should just double productivity, haste. 1.08. Yeah, not that big of a difference, but it's a pretty big power difference. But you know what? I don't care about power right now because I have 2,700 Stirling engines, level 2, each making 2.5 megawatts of power. I have 6.75 gigawatts. I'm not even using, I'm like barely using half of it right now. And I have enough to enhance yet again to an even 7 gigawatts of power production. Also, that needs to die. It's in the way. So does that. They were in the way. So, yeah, now that I've almost doubled the amount that was originally in the mall, let's see. What next? There we go with those samples. That should be good. God, still waiting on the astronomical data boxes, eh? Still wait. Oh, it did a delivery, but it went to science. Wah, wah. It went to science and it didn't come here. It should come here next as the next rank in the priority list. So, oh, we launched a rocket. I saw that rocket go by. Oh, it was this. It was this one. Okay. Oh yeah, we have 2. We have 2 more copper. We also have like 12 uranium stored up. And a few of all of the rest. I have been going and launching all but the copper and uranium. I wanna make sure that when we launch the copper, we really do it together. Yeah, give me more copper. More denser copper. Let's go, the densest of the dense. Come on, my wonderful bullets flying through the air that you can't even see from the live view. Show me the zone, show me the zone. Let's go, go kaboom. Where's the earth-shattering kaboom? There it is. The glorious earth-shattering kaboom. We do have stuff that's over 1 million right now on ore density. I am happy. I am happy to have the infinite resources provided by launching stuff. Provided from essentially dropping meteors on the planet. Because that's what you are doing. You are dropping meteors on the planet. When you launch these drones, when you launch the drones from these, they are homing beacons for the thing you launched into space. That's what it's supposed to be, anyway. Just like a homing marker. Yeah. Anyway, stuff, things. Continuing along. Well, we can't really continue that much more along outside of placing these buildings down. So I may as well. You take air? Yes, you do. How much air? A lot of air. A lot more air. Okay. Have a haste. More air. Have another haste. There you go. That you're good now on that. You need seawater. Oh, well, unfortunately, that means I have to put you in a bit of a different orientation. Same thing there. No, I needed it there. Boo-boos. Boo-boo-boo-boos. The unfortunate part is that while there's like the ability to launch a drone that like covers an entire area with concrete, it unfortunately will get rid of the water and like other tiles that exist. Although I haven't tested it because it shouldn't get rid of buildings over water, right? I would hope it wouldn't do that. I would expect it to get rid of like the water under the seawater intake. But if you launch one of those things in an area where you have an outfall, here's the thing when you do that. It deletes the outfall from the face of existence. Yeah, it when you landfill the water under an outfall, it destroys the outfall completely. Which I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that that's a particularly good design for it to do that, but you know, what do I know? What do I know? You are the sludge processor. Oh no, you make sludge. Excuse me. I need the other thing that actually converts sludge into waste. Yeah, that's the one. I was off a step. You need the hydrochloric for the making of sludge from mineral dust. This is not the same thing. But yeah, you would see how much trouble it would cause if it just completely kills all of this water to try to paint the area with some other tile type. Because I think it's just replacing the tile type when you do the drone launch thing into the area. It's just saying, hey, this area is now this tile. It should like grab all the stuff within the number of chunks that it is. I think it's a 7x7 range, which is freaking huge area. But yeah, it's just I don't actually want it to replace the water. Like, why you do this? Why you do this? Specifically, I should just point out that I'm referring to these drones, the paving drones. It says that it paves the landscape with the concrete, clears rocks, cliffs, water, and debris. It's the water part that I don't agree with. It doesn't actually say what range it is, oddly. I thought it said that it was like range 7. Or size 7. Maybe I'm thinking of the landfill? The one that replaces land with water is a 4x4 sector area. 4x4 sector. Alright, well, even if it's a 4x4, that's like this much space. That's a 2x2. This, you can't even see from this view a 4x4. Because the 4x4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this entire screen space is a 4x4 chunk or sector. I'm assuming that the sector term that it's using refers to chunks, and it would be this much area. That's a big area. Unless they actually mean a 4x4, which is this area. Unless they mean that this is a 4x4. Don't know. By the way, it's shift plus spacebar, and it's pause. It pauses and brings up a grid with grid lines, and it shows how the game is calculating what areas of the map are active based off of which chunk has stuff in it. Okay. Where are those astronomical datas? Because I can't do anything until this stuff moves. Astronomical. 199, 176. What is your issue? You just need satellites. You just need lab 2s. You just need processors. You're loading up processors 1,000 units at a time. You're almost on your next delivery cycle. That's starting to back up. That's good. You know, there used to be a time where I was backed up on processors. Yeah, when your stuff isn't moving for a really long time, then you have to rebuild that buffer from scratch, and it's gonna take a while. So what are we gonna do? In the meantime, well, I guess I can continue to work on this. Spend the what little science I have working towards logistics robotics. But yeah, unfortunately from here, until I get the astronomical data, there is nothing I can do. Absolutely jack all. So let's do a restock at the mall. That sounds like the current plan. Let's just go to the mall, get a restock going, get everything sorted and organized, and then I guess we can start scaling these. Just get a few more buildings placed on all of them. Maybe expand some of the rail network, get the get this set up over here done in a bot-based way. Yeah, I think maybe just doing it in a bot-based way would be a decent enough idea. Yes, yes. That would be good. Although, I did not build this in a way that is particularly conducive to scaling. Cough, cough. Cough, cough. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Didn't really build this for... Oh. Well, you almost made it. You almost made it down here. And the alternative, I just go grab some astronomical data and start the systems. Because it's a positive feedback loop, ideally, when all of this is set up. You don't really need all that much. So as long as the... Okay, that's the physics science one. As long as the astronomical data one is here, sitting here, I can just steal the science out of its cargo container and be on my way. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan here. Just to make it happen. I can work with scaling the stuff off screen, the processors and such. I can get that flowing more quickly off screen. It's about to say, if I die though and I lose all the stuff in my bag, I wouldn't lose it because I could just come straight back to grab it. But if I die, that would be bad. That would be bad. All the stuff dies when your car explodes though, so let's not have a vehicle death. I've built my system perfectly, so there shouldn't be any head-on collisions ever, or T-bones, or any of that. And we're back to the biochem zone. All right, biochem zone, you're about to get a manual infusion of some astronomical data. I do hope that you, in fact, enjoy this astronomical data, and that the bots can do their thing as quickly as possible, and so we can actually see some of this life actually happen today. Because that would be nice. That would be really nice. Okay. We will need to make agriculture drones and an agricultural remote. Now, that would unfortunately mean getting all of this stuff moving. Now, there's a prospect of connecting these logistic networks to do that and make the bots do that. But, nah. So, you only need to get Algae launched to fill out the requirements here. There's an Algae requirement here. How do you get the oxygen requirement? That I don't know. Seeds, water with Algae. Well, I mean, obviously the algae and trees and stuff are going to produce oxygen, so maybe by the time we have the algae, the trees, the grass, and such, we will have that. And then how do you do the terraform? Like, how does one do terraform %? Like, what's the intent there? Do I have to, like, just add water using the launch things? Do I need to do excavation drone launches? Or there should be like a terraforming drone. Yeah, there are terraforming drones. Do I just have to launch terraforming drones? Because I could do that. I have lots of gray landfill. I have a lot of gray landfill that I could box. Because that's the type I'm making. I can launch some gray landfill and try to fill out this terraforming %. We've launched half the copper that we need. Placed it. Alright. How are we looking? We are making algae progenitors. We are slowly but surely making bacteria. But are we making, in fact, enough? We have 3 products finished. We need at least 6. And by my count, we're 1 bacteria genome short. Eh. Oh, hey, we have an algae. Oh yeah, I didn't do the boxes. We have to do the boxes. You have to give me algae. You have to give me algae, and this gives me cellulose, which I have to deal with some way. I should filter. Cellulose. There you go. Enjoy. There wasn't enough algae. So we need to make 6 algae. We've done 2 sets of 2, so we've made 4 algae. We need what? What? Why is there 1? Oh, because it's sets of 3, not sets of 2. Okay. Well, that happened. Oh, hey, we have a positive feedback loop on algae now. BTW. The algae positive feedback loop has happened. Aw, seriously? Oh, we must have gotten a delivery of stuff. Maybe. No, we couldn't have. So it's just, we used the data properly. It got processed and delivered over here. And now we used all of it, and we've got stuff, something. We've got bacteria. Hey, the bacteria is bacteria positive now. Excellent. That means we don't need to do this anymore. We don't need this. So we can get rid of that. Okay. Since we don't need that, and this will keep looping forever as long as we feed the things, we still need the progenitors, though. Enjoy your sugar. I have a bunch of sugar for whatever reason sitting in my inventory. What do I need for that science? The science, of course, it needs algae progenitors. So unfortunately, we do still need to keep doing the bacteria genome and algae genome, because for whatever reason it wants the progenitors. Like, why? Why do you still want the progenitors? I don't need to do this progenitor spending, though, anymore, so all of that can die. Ollie. Yeah, whatever. Get out. Get rid of the excess stuff. There we go. So yeah, now this cycles infinitely, or at least until I run out of space for cellulose. Ah, boy. Yep. Now, the really hard part. What I really need to do here is, like, this with a priority output. Just because I want to make sure that this always moves. And in order to ensure that this is moving and giving me spores times infinity, but only enough spores so that I have an excess, ideally, because I don't really need the algae spores for much of anything. I'm sure there's a use. Oh. The alga culture drone needs the spores. Okay. Well, don't mind me then. Biomass cultivation. Algae spores directly into cellulose. Oil and methane. Really? Really? Well, that's a good way to get into those things. I might actually do this. I'm thinking of doing that, actually. Biomass cultivation. That seems like it could be useful. Potentially. Well, that just leaves making the science, so what building is that done in? The medium assembler. It shall be exclusively done in a medium assembler. It shall not be done in anything other than a medium assembler. We must have the bacteria input. We must have the glorious productivity modules, as well as an input and an output. In, out. Thank you for the wonderful progenitors and things. And algae. And this is going to be slow. Oh, so very slow. You need 100 bacteria. You need 100 bacteria per cycle. This is going to be a lot of sugar. I'm going to need to get a lot more sugar. And then I'll request these samples. Like over here or something. Right here. Okay, these bacterial or whatever samples. Microbio samples, yes. You get to live here. And get requested here. And then glorious things shall happen. However, scale needs to happen first. And I'm gonna do that off screen. With that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Shibot. If you have enjoyed today's video, mucking about with life here in the Nullius mod, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushibot if you are so inclined and able. I will be back when I am back, and I will see you all on the next one.